But what we're going to want to do for now is add some widgets. So we're going to click on the add widget button here, and these are the 6 options of what you can add. So the first thing we're going to add here is the full account summary, and that adds that for us here in the top left. Now, right from this widget, you can control your brokerage account. So for example, if we click on the deposit button here, it is going to change us to the standard desktop view, but it brings us right over to where we can initiate a deposit to our brokerage account. You can also click on this right here to make details hidden or public, which if somebody's live streaming, for example, they might want to do that. You can also click on the 3 lines here and customize details. For example, if you want to add the number of day trades you've placed, you can add that here. You can also add your trading P&L and see what your profit and loss has been. This is actually a new update that's also part of the new Robinhood features. But for now, what we're going to do is add another widget here, and we're going to add recent orders. Now, this is going to show you any orders that you've placed over the last 24 hours. This is most likely going to be useful for somebody who's actively trading, which is not something I do in this demo account, so I don't have any orders to show here. But you can sort them by different criteria. You can also add filters and that kind of thing. And if you click on the 3 dots here, you can also customize what details are displayed up top here for each of the recent orders. We're going to click on add widget once again, and the next thing we're going to add here is a list of our positions. Now, for any of these widgets, you can also hover over the corner and make them larger, which I think is convenient here for the view of our positions. This is going to bring up a list of the positions in my portfolio, and you can click on the details here to sort. Right now it's an alphabetized view, but if we're looking for the ones with the largest open profit and loss sorted by profit, you can see that I have actually a 21% profit on my $1 fractional investment in Tesla. But if we look at the losers of my portfolio, I'm actually down about 40% on Supermicro computers, for example. So let's go ahead and buy a stock here from this view. Let's say we want to buy the dip here on Supermicro. You would click on the 3 dots here and then select increase position, and it brings up an order ticket window right here, which is pretty cool. At that point, we can make a fractional investment. We have $1 of buying power available. We can do a market buy in dollars and buy another 0.03714 shares of this stock. You would just then click on buy SMCI, and just like that, the order was submitted and it was filled immediately. So it's pretty cool how you can control your Robinhood account right from this view. So that's how you buy a stock. But let's say you now want to close a position. Let's say I want to lock in that profit here on Tesla. What you would do at this point is click on the close button, and it brings up details here to close your position. We're going to do a market sell. We're going to sell in shares, or we're actually going to sell here in dollars, and we're going to sell the entire amount. I have 121 available. At that point, you would just click on the sell Tesla button. And if you wanted to change this, you could sell in shares or dollars. You can also do all sorts of different market types if you wanted to do a limit order, for example. But we're just going to do a dollar sell off of 121. Click on sell Tesla. And it said the market order failed, not enough to sell. So I think, for example, we might actually have to click on close and leave it at maybe the dollar value being $1.20. So now it should close because it's showing $1.21 available. And at that point, it did fill for us. So we just sold off $1.20 worth of Tesla through Robinhood Legend. You can also customize these columns up here if you want specific data. You would go up here and use customize columns. So let's say, for example, you don't want the 1-day P&L. That simplifies the view here. And let's say you also want to look at other details. You can add, let's say, asset type, for example. And now that adds the type of asset here to that column. And you can also make these wider or narrower if you want to for any particular reason. The next widget we're going to add here is the options chain. Now, I'm not an options trader, so I don't have much of any useful information here as to what this shows you, but you can add this here and take a look at that view if you want to as well. The final widget we're going to add here is a chart. So we're going to click on chart, and that's going to add a chart here at the bottom right. And by default, it's going to show us whatever we were looking at previously, or in this case, since we deleted all of our reviews, it's just going to show us Apple. Now, one thing that's pretty cool here that I want to show you you is you can have groupings going on here where it's going to change that data set. If you change one of them, it changes them both. So for example, you notice how this is blue and this is blue. It means these are grouped together. So if you change one of these, it's going to change it for both. So if you click here on Apple, and let's say you change that over to Tesla, it also changed that over here for my options data on Tesla stock automatically. And as far as the template goes, it's going to be saved by default. So if you close it out, you're going to be able to view it again as soon as you open up a Robinhood Legend again. And you can make as many of these as you want by clicking on the plus icon and either adding new templates from scratch or using their existing templates here.